Hi friend, welcome back to the Bookkeeping 4 series. If you checked out the past couple of videos the past few weeks, we talked about bookkeeping for brand and web designers and bookkeeping for copywriters. Today we are talking about bookkeeping for educators. This is for course creators, content creators, mastermind leaders, people with digital products, all of that realm. I have seen a lot of my service providers go from having one-to-one businesses to flipping to one-to-many, and that shift in business is so fun to watch. And as we mentioned in the past couple of videos, CPA Gary has no idea what this type of business looks like. CPA Gary is an old friend of your family. You hired him to do your accounting and bookkeeping years ago, and now you're just kind of like, I don't know if he's the best fit for me, because he truly doesn't understand how this bookkeeping for educators needs to look different than bookkeeping for other industries and types of businesses. Sweet CPA Gary has no idea what Kajabi is, how it houses your courses, and is a hub for all of your members and students, and is a place where you can get sales for your one-to-many products. CPA Gary has no idea what a funnel is and how important it truly is to the longevity of your business, what it looks like for a successful launch. And CPA Gary really does think that you are just doing this thing as a little side hustle and really has no idea the potential of the longevity of your business. So sit down, grab your cup of coffee, and let's talk about how bookkeeping for educators looks way different than other businesses and industries. All right, so we're gonna be talking about how I format reports like a profit and loss, and how we break that down by revenue and expense and category types. And then we're also going to be talking about the structure of what I usually see for my clients who are educators. And with that, I'm talking like LLC versus sole proprietor versus S Corp. All right, so first things first is revenue. So if you pull up your profit and loss, you'll see revenue up top, expenses in the middle, profit on the bottom. For revenue, it is extremely imperative that you are breaking this down by revenue stream, especially if you are a one-to-one service provider and you are still providing services to your clients in addition to adding on that education piece to your business. We really want to see how much are you bringing in from service that you're providing and how much are you bringing in from selling digital products. Okay, so I like to have different groupings within revenue, and I have a list of them here. I have affiliate income at the top, course income, coaching income, online shop income, and sponsorships and collaborations. I knew I was going to forget one of those. That's why I had the list. And I actually took this list from all of the profit and losses from my educator clients and made this kind of hub for you to structure your own profit and loss too. So with affiliate income, with that grouping, we have anywhere that you are getting affiliate income. So if you are talking about a product, talking about a different company, and you are getting kickbacks for that, which a lot of us do now, especially in this kind of influencer space, we really want to see how much you're making on just affiliate income. And if you want to, you can even create line items by each product that you're talking about. So if you have Flowdesk, Dubsado, Thrivecart, etc., you want to have a line item for each one of those and then a grouping for total affiliate income. Then you want to have course income. That's its own grouping by itself too. If you have multiple different courses, you can add those each as a line item, but we really want to see how much are you making from your course. It's also really fun to note that you should be tracking this if you have live launches throughout the year. You really want to see how much is just course income. Then if you ever do switch that to be an evergreen course and it's just for sale whenever people want to buy it, then you can really track how is that performing as an evergreen item versus launching it throughout the year. Next grouping that we have is coaching income. A lot of my clients, in addition to having a course and affiliate income, also are coaches. So they might have a group coaching program or they might work with people one-on-one, in which case we would split each of those up as well. And then I have that all as a grouping so we can clearly see how much is coming from coaching. Then we have the online shop grouping. This one is so beefy, or it can be beefy, because I've had clients that want to see every single line item for every single digital product that they have. even if it's like a $5, $27, $47, every single line item, they want to see how much they are making from each of those. It is a heavy lift to determine every single one of your transactions and which one of those digital products was purchased. If you can, in Shopify, in Thrivecart, whichever platform you're using, if you have a report in there that will show you that information, I highly suggest you leave all of the online shop income in one line item within that grouping. If you really want to break it out between all of the digital products, Godspeed. Okay, and lastly, we have sponsorships and collaborations. Technically, this could go under affiliate income, but I feel like a lot of educators and content creators think about this differently because it's not just a link that lives on your website or that you put into an email somewhere, but it really is something where you're working with a brand directly and they're paying you directly. And as with bookkeeping for brand and web designers and copywriters, with my educator clients, I also really see that there is no to minimal sales tax. We do see sometimes that they do have to collect and remit sales tax if there is someone in their state that purchases something from their digital shop. And that is just kind of on a case-by-case basis, but it's pretty low and definitely not like if you had a boutique and you had to collect sales tax for everything, or if you sold products like you have a candle shop. You literally have to collect and remit sales tax for every single one of those, depending on what state you're in. So like I said, a lot of my clients have no to minimal sales tax if they are educators. Please check the state that you're in and follow your rules. And then as far as cost of goods sold or direct cost, I really like to see revenue up top and then those direct costs coming out underneath. So it's revenue minus direct cost. The only thing that I really see for educator clients is affiliate payouts. So if they are saying, I want to know how much revenue I brought in and then what portion I have to pay out to affiliates who are talking about my program, then I want to see what my gross profit is after affiliate payouts. And that gross profit is what you have to spend on your overhead expenses that you still have to pay to keep the lights on in your business. I really can't think of any other direct cost for an educator, but if you have other ideas of what you would consider a direct cost, put it in the comments. Okay, expenses. This one is so fun. I have the best list right here in front of me. And like I said, I literally took the profit and loss from so many of my educator clients and I made this like condensed list, which is basically like bookkeeping 101 for educators. Okay, here we go. So advertising, that is its own line item. And usually we put Facebook ads and Google ads in there. So if you are running ads to then either get people on your list or to sell a product, this is where we are putting that line item and where we can clearly see how much is being spent on Facebook ads. This one is really fun because you can track how much you're spending on ads and you can also tie it to your revenue. So if you spent a lot in ads and you had a spike in revenue, we can see that that really is producing a good ROI, or if it's just not working and there's zero ROI, then we got to fix something. Next grouping we have is contractors. And usually what I see right here is a brand photographer. So if you're taking a lot of photos because you're putting out a lot of content, you might have a brand photographer that you're working with every couple of months or even every month. Then potentially a virtual assistant, somebody that's really just helping you get content out the door, scheduling your emails, scheduling your blog post, all of that fun stuff. We love a good virtual assistant. And also potentially some sort of social media manager or Pinterest manager. I feel like a lot of my clients work with Pinterest managers and really love that. I feel like there's a huge ROI there, as well as social media management too. So those are the contractors that I usually see within that grouping. Then the holy grail of all expense categories ever, software subscriptions. Software subscriptions make your world go round as an educator. So here's the list of software subscriptions that I usually see for educators, and I put this all into its own line item. I don't usually break it down and then group it all together, so it's not each line item for each of these that I'm about to tell you, but it's really just all in one category. That way we can see how much we're spending on software throughout the year. So we have Flowdesk, Dubsado or Honeybook, Calendly, ClickUp, Dropbox, Liberated Syndication if you're a podcast host, Adobe, Google Suite, Gusto for payroll, which I totally recommend because Gusto is awesome, Xero for accounting software, which is also my preferred accounting software, Slack, Kajabi, Show It, and Later. That is my comprehensive list from all of my clients, but there's probably so many more that you use. I would love to know what you use. What is your favorite software subscription? Put it in the comments. All right, so that is the profit and loss. That is how I usually format a profit and loss for my educator clients. We can clearly see how much people are making and spending, and it's nice and broken down by categories to make it very clear and easy to understand. Next, I want to talk about the structure of the business. So a lot of these educator clients, like I said, will start out as even a sole proprietor, freelancer. They're really just getting traction in their craft. Then they start to really get referrals and book out, and they become an LLC, which is awesome. We love to see that. Then when they're switching from being a service provider to an educator or a content creator, it really becomes this huge shift of selling one-to-one to selling one-to-many. And we start to see a really massive jump in revenue and profit. So for a lot of the LLCs that I see, it's really just getting paid by an owner's draw. You have the money in your business bank account and you make a transfer to your personal bank account. As I have mentioned in previous videos, this will never show up on your profit and loss report. This is something that is on a balance sheet. That's just the rules of accounting. That is how it goes, but you will never see this on your profit and loss as an expense. However, if you are an S Corp, you're an LLC filing as an S Corp because you've grown so much, your revenue, your profit has really grown, you will start to see your wages and salaries as an expense on your profit and loss. Because as an S Corp, you need to start paying yourself a regular salary, whether that's every other week or once a month. That is a rule, a thing that you have to follow to be an S Corp is to pay yourself a regular salary. And the awesome thing about transitioning to an S Corp, especially if you're starting to see higher profits, is that the business actually burdens a portion of the payroll taxes. So you're not just having to burden all of those payroll taxes or the quarterly estimated taxes on your own, but the business itself actually gets to deduct a portion of those payroll taxes. Yeah, save money on taxes. But even as great as that sounds, I have seen a lot of people switch to an S Corp too soon, and they realize that they really don't have enough cash flow, recurring cash flow in their business to pay themselves a regular salary. So be very careful. It is totally fine to be an LLC for a little bit longer than you need to before you make that switch to an S Corp. Please, please, please talk to your CPA about when the right time is to switch to an S Corp. Your CPA will actually be able to run calculations to show you if it would make sense for you to switch to an S Corp and if you would actually save money or if it's better to just stay as an LLC. Okay, next, let's talk about when is the best time to hire a bookkeeper if you are an educator. There's a couple different ways to talk about this. If you are starting your business and you know that you just want to be an educator, literally immediately hire a bookkeeper, because if you are planning on selling one-to-many, bookkeeping is going to take up so much of your time with that many transactions. But if you are a one-to-one service provider and you're starting to add education to your business and you're slowly going to transition, you could probably do your own bookkeeping for yourself for a couple of years. Then, once you have been doing your bookkeeping for a couple of years or even a couple of months until you are just really starting to see a high volume of transactions, that is the time to switch and ask a bookkeeper for some help. My friend, let me know in the comments, is this how you structure your profit and loss report? Or is this super helpful for you to have kind of a rule of thumb of where you categorize your expenses and your revenue? Would love to know. And if you need help with bookkeeping, you can always find us at www.madisondearly.com. See you next time.